Alrighty then. Welcome everyone to much anticipated, not too long overdue, session 12. Last session I said 10, it was actually 11. But my life's been a little crazy lately, because I'm going to be a father soon. So, give me a little bit of grace here. But with that being said, joining me today are 4 amazing role players who defeated the Staglord last session. Quite brilliantly so, with that charge in, crit, lance, 100 and some crazy damage, horseback. You could finally use your character's abilities. It was pretty wild. How you feeling about it? How you feeling about it, Mimi? Hopefully good. I hope.
Yeah, I feel great after that final charge.
Okay. It's good to hear. I'm actually genuinely glad to hear that you feel good about that. But when we last
Why?
left off, our intrepid... because things are just going to get worse from here on out.
Yeah, thank that.
As is tradition. Yeah, so we last left off. Our intrepid adventurers, you all, as I mentioned, had defeated the Staglord and finally have a moment of respite. So you've been running from place to place. There was a strange Arodus temple. There was a kobold. There was Gorla. There was the man in yellow, who we found out is a certain wizard arcanist's old tutor. We found out some other information in the background about who that tutor is. Dun dun dun, as they like to say. I don't mean to be that guy at the party, but oh boy, that was a big thing. It was a big thing that we discovered in that moment. But with that being said, we are going to pivot over to our world map here in just a moment so that everyone can see what we're working with here. So you have defeated the Staglord. Now, as I discussed at the end of our last session and our after session powwow, we're doing a little bit of an interlude between chapter 1, the beginning of chapter 2. So the game as written just says 2 to 3 months pass. You guys now have a city. Godspeed. I'd like to take some time this session to have you guys discuss who's going to rule, who's going to do, like, you send word back to Restove, which I'm assuming you do, but, in the days post the Staglord's defeat, the kobolds are buried, the guards that had been guarding Olegs, rest a little bit easier. The area around the Stag Fort, all of the bandits have been killed, so there's no raids, there's no attacks. Things are relatively peaceful right now. So you have a moment to literally take a breath for the first time in forever. I know last session, or right after last session, Ingram, you had actually in-game told the man in yellow that you would meet him where the river bends. I'd actually like to pick up with that scene, if you're okay with doing that. Like, take a moment to kind of roleplay that out, because you had intended that to happen, like, days after... The next day after the Stag
Yeah, the
Lord's
day
defeat?
after.
Okay. So this is, like, very fresh. Imagine that, you're still near the Stag Fort. Bodies are being, buried or burned. The Stag Fort is being looked at as a potential, location to start a city. And you go to where the river bends. I don't specifically know on the map where you wanted that to be, but it's a bendy part of the river.
I
And
was insinuating where the river met the lake near the fort.
okay, like on the west side, like over here.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
the other
I like
side.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you're a ways away. You head off. Some folks are like little Pervilash is like, okay, I'm gonna go back to cleaning my claws, and then she like flutters off, because it was a
yeah.
murder fairy dragon last time. Who knew? Who knew fairy
Yes.
dragons like murder? I didn't, but it's good.
Yeah.
Penny.
She they did a good job. That's all I'm saying. They did a really,
Yes.
really good job. They killed a bunch of people.
Is a good
It was
phrase,
strong.
Dragon.
It was positive. We love to see it. So,
Yeah.
but we're going to pick up with you near this river bend, as it were, sort of sitting, waiting, pondering, and there is a sort of like swirl of wind. It's been sort of quiet in this moment, not a big breeze, but there's a sudden like fresh breeze that blows in, and you see this sort of like swirl of dust and leaves and like sort of dried grass, and it sort of like forms up and begins to look like, well, a man. And I'm not going to make you make a spellcraft check on this because you can very quickly identify what it is. This is some sort of like image projection, right? Like they're projecting themselves to see you, maybe like a greater image or project self or something like that. So you're sitting by this area. There's actually a little beaver's dam over on the side here, and you see this swirling image of the man in yellow, who's just sort of like standing just mere feet away from you. No words off the rip, just this swirling mass of dust and dead leaves, and it's just staring at you somewhat indignantly. That's very true. Your arm is releasing toxins. You are hallucinating. You see
Oh, no.
you see your life ending up happy and nothing bad ever happens to you again, which is the worst hallucination of them all. That is correct, Enoch.
I mean, he probably wouldn't complain
That's fair.
about that.
You move slightly, Ingram, and the man in yellow follows you.
I want to say thank you for even showing up. Not physically, of course. I realize that could be difficult. I need to apologize. I have done you a great disservice. For the past 25 years, I've been lying to you. Caddis Rostrum. I am not Ingram Feld. I pause for a second.
Dramatic pause.
I was once known as...
Dramatic pause as he looks at his notes.
Yes.
Pausing intensifies. I can't help myself. I'm such a little shit stick.
I know. I actually didn't write down the name. I had a name in my head, but
Yeah?
now it's gone.
Well, now you gotta make one up, and you're gonna have to stick with it.
Yeah. Hold on.
I am Poop McDinglefart.
Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm sorry, God.
Oh, I can't. You're really this is your dramatic moment. You should have been ready for
I
it,
know.
man. I'm judging you so bad right now. I am judging you so bad.
Man.
What am I to say to a man who cannot even remember his own name? You offer me apology? Kidding. Or am I? We'll see.
Um.
I'm trying real hard not to make fun of you, man. You're making it real hard for me not to.
Do we want to maybe skip a scene while Ingram looks this up?
You know what,
Yeah, we
Ingram?
can come back to
You know what?
it.
You know what,
Yeah.
Ingram? You give
Circle
him
around, circle
You know what,
around.
Ingram? You give him your real name. It means
Yeah.
nothing to him. All right? Because he
Yeah.
doesn't know.
Okay.
But you give him this name, and the leaves sort of rustle and
Right.
shrug slightly.
I am not the man that I claim to be. Ingram Felder is my real name. It's just not who I always was. I have been lying to you about how old I exactly am. I'm not 25 when I met you. I was. How old exactly is Kedis? I would
You tell
have
me,
a
he's
good
your
idea.
NPC, baby bird.
Right. He's about 80. Um, I was 115 when we first met, but I did not know you as my mentor then. You see, once upon a time, I was someone completely different. I was just a clerical aide in a small fort town outside of Absalom. This he would definitely know is weird. Um,
Okay.
I knew a fairly nice young lady called Mala. Mala Rostrum. I
That's
loved her.
that's his mom, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that name strikes. You say you loved her. The leaves rustle for a moment, and then they form into a much more solid image of the man in yellow, who very quietly removes his mask. You see Kedis looking at you with this just sort of, it's an indignant kind of look. It's a look of, well, stark neutrality, of numbness. If you're going to tell me that you're my real father, that you're here to apologize to me because you weren't there, save it. I do not
I
care.
can't apologize.
Good, don't. It means nothing. You have made your choice here, now, in this moment. You have chosen to side against me, against her. And in so doing that, you
I
have sealed the
came
fate.
here.
You have lost any chance you have of any reconciliation between us. As I said in the fort, we are enemies now, Ingram. Nothing more and nothing less. Do I make myself clear?
Why is it that this is what this person who took you from being such an inquisitive person into someone that just wants to take
Took me
absolute
from being
power?
inquisitive. You ignorant fool, I should have taught you better. They did not take me from being inquisitive, they opened my mind to the possibilities, endless possibilities that the library offers. We will not simply be the most powerful mages the world has ever seen. We will be next to divinity. And in so that we will shape the world in the ways that we see fit. We will eat of the world in the ways we see fit. This is the last we shall speak. Goodbye, Ingram, for when we next meet, it shall be your end. You go to open your mouth, there's a rustle of energy, it swirls around him. His portal opens up, these tendrils reach out, they grab him, they pull him in, and then it's just a thwomp. The leaves and the dust settle down to the ground, and you are left alone in the silence of that soft breeze that's flowing.
He will just walk over to the edge of this water here, sit down. He's going to take out two glasses from his bag and a nice bottle of alcohol and pour himself two glasses. Put one to like another side of like a flat rock nearby
Yeah.
and just speak to the wind. I'm sorry, Mala. I'm sorry, Mala. I tried. And just try to drink himself to sleep.
Aww. Well, as he drinks himself to sleep on the shores of the river bend, we pivot over to another scene, and I open it to the group as to what you see fit and what you'd like to do with your time.
Theragor would like a scene, if you don't mind.
I don't.
So I guess this could be roughly around the same day that Ingrid meets
It's kid.
meets yes. Theragor is in the smithy in the Staglords castle,
Ooh, okay.
and he's working at the forge,
Love it.
and he is called for Micmac to
Ooh,
come in.
Micmac. Okay. All right.
Yes.
So you're pinging. You're pinging the forge. I love that.
Right.
I love that. That's awesome. I'm gonna remove all the turns. I'm gonna delete this little turn tracker thing. I'm gonna move you back over to the Stag Fort so we have a nice little visual representation. And you've set up a little makeshift forge. A little makeshift forge kind of down where the owl bear had been kept. All right, that's where I'm gonna say it
Okay.
is. Down where the owl bear had been kept. And let me go ahead and delete that. Mimi, you guys can all obviously move your characters back to full HP as you see fit. Denik is no longer small. Ingram is still sad, off drinking himself to death. Micmac steps in as he hears Theragor, and he's like, "Bearded Daddy, I'm here. What can I do?" And he's just real happy to be there.
And he says, "Step over to the forge."
Okay. And he steps over to the forge.
And we will see that Theragor is making these tiny torques. You know, those is that what you call them? The thing, the Norse thing that goes around the
Like a neck bracelet.
neck bracelet thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, they're about kobold sizes.
Ooh, okay. I
And
like it.
and he finishes one and he holds it up. He says, "This, Micmac, is a dwarven burial torque. I am making one for each of the fallen kobolds, the ones that died in the assault." And he kind of puts that one down, and you see that there's other ones that have been laid out. And he turns to Micmac and he says, "I have a question for you, Micmac. Before the fight, I told you to tell the kobolds, once inside, to hide, find fortified positions, and to attack from there, to do their best to try to live. But once the doors opened, they rushed directly into battle. I'm not blaming anyone, but I wish to know, did you tell them what I told you?"
The little kobold fidgets like a young child might when he's been caught in a lie, right? And you can see in his face that he's like wavering back and forth between like, do I tell the truth or do I fib? And there's a moment of realization where he settles in on what he's going to say, and you get the impression it's the truth. He doesn't have a very good bluff. It's like -5.
Right.
You can pick up that he's not lying.
Yes.
Micmac is knight. Micmac fights without fear. Micmac told Koboldkin to fight without fear. Because fear keeps kobolds from being great. And Micmac wants kobolds to be great. And sometimes people have to die. Sometimes kobolds have to die so that other kobolds can be great. Micmac told them to fight bravely. That is what Micmac said.
And they did fight bravely. But they also died, Micmac. Remember this, a knight does fight bravely, but a knight also follows orders when they are given to him. You must remember that, or you will never be an effective knight.
The little kobold looks very... What the hell was that, cat? She literally chomped on my hand and then shook her head like she was trying to, like, tear off flesh. Like, what the actual hell, bro? She chomped and shook like she was attacking something. Like, that was mean. You're kind of a brat. I don't know if I want you anymore. It's because she sits on my lap and then I don't pet her and she gets mad, so she bites me and then I pet her, so I've taught her this behavior. That's the
Yeah.
problem. I am the problem. It's not her fault.
You're the
I've taught her
problem.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're always the
Now,
problem.
now she's leaning back over my shoulder and she's purring and she's so happy. She's like, "Oh, if I bite him and I shake my head, he'll pet me." Yeah, I'm the problem. All right. She's purring so loud. Look at this. She's got her head resting on my shoulder. She's a good girl. So Micmac looks obviously a little disappointed in himself. He's still nursing a couple of small wounds that he had as well. And you know, kind of that moment in your life. I think most people go through it. I remember when I went through it, where you just feel like you kind of have to grow up. Like you're not a kid anymore. Like there's a moment. Like I remember it for myself. Like it was a moment where like my mom had gotten in a car accident. My stepdad at the time wasn't around. I had to be the one to drive out and like pick her up and like figure shit out. And like I was like, I don't know, like 16. That was when I was like, I have to grow up, right? Like I'm not a kid anymore. Still a young adult, but like still young, but I'm not a kid anymore. Okay, that was like my turning point moment. It seems like this kobold might be having that here, and he thinks, and he says, I won't apologize. No. Micmac won't apologize. He did what he thought was right, but even when you do the right thing, or what you think is right, sometimes it's wrong. What I'll say, Mr. Theragor, is I'll learn from this, and I won't make this mistake again. I want to be best knight of the kobolds. I want to show that kobolds can be more than just monsters. This is my pledge.
And I pledge to help you do that.
And he throws his hands in the air and says, "Yay!
Yeah.
Papa Knight Teacher!" And he hugs your leg. So that moment of
Yes.
clarity, gone.
Oh no!
Gone. He regresses real quick.
Considering that it
Yes.
seems like the average lifespan of the kobold is like 8 months, we've got about a month until he hits senior
Yeah.
and has to retire. So
Yeah.
Micmac has seen a lot of things in his short years. Back in my day, I fought the Staglord. Almost died.
That was 2 days ago.
Yeah. 10 months ago, I was a whippersnapper.
I'm not a speaking
like-
anymore.
they
That
live
was
like-
yesterday.
They live like 10 years. I think they could live
Yeah,
longer,
yeah.
you know. It's good.
So-
I like that. That was good there. Or anything else to add there?
No, that's it.
Beautiful. What other scenes we got? What else do we want?
I did want to talk to Svetlana.
Okay. Do you want to do that? I'm assuming probably back at Olegs, so this takes place at some point, a couple of days after everything
Yeah,
has
a
happened.
few days. So if anyone had something immediately after, they can go first.
no, I'm good.
Oh, yeah.
All frickin' right, boys. Pivot over here. You find a quiet moment with Svetlana, sort of like in their office. She's like, actually, we'll do the table over here. Like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Move you right there. You sit down, you're having some tea. It's some girls' time. Also, Ingram, your cousin, I think it was. Yeah, your cousin's there. And she sees you, and she's like, Ingram, and she rushes up, picks you up, big bear hug, spins you around, squeezes you a little bit too tight. You guys can have a little catching up as well. That's Ressi, if I remember correctly. Is that right?
Yes.
Ressi.
Ressi Felder.
She's like, Ingram, you old son of a bitch. There you are. I've been looking for you for days. Where were you? I heard you died. That's crazy. She's just a big, boisterous, bartending like lady.
Yeah.
Just a big old boisterous gal. Just excited to be there. Is she an Asimir as well?
No, actually, so there's a thing about that. He was I told you guys after the game last week that he was adopted into a like a branch family of a noble house from Absalom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Before he went off to be mentored by his kid. So weird. I don't know why I chose that path, but I did. This is actually a family member from that family.
Mm-hmm.
That family is no longer together. Yeah, it felt like.
Okay. As noble families
So
often
there's-
do.
Yeah, there's shit going on. We'll go to it later. It's fine.
Yeah,
He
no
has a very
worries.
messy family.
Every good character does.
Apparently.
Every good
Yeah.
character does. All right. Yeah. So you sit down with Svetlana. She looks relieved to see you. You guys have gotten back. You've asked for a little quiet time with her. Obviously she acquiesced the request, and Svetlana is very, very mindful, very demure. She's a very demure, sort of mindful, quiet woman. She does obviously an excellent cook, and she's just offering you a very neutral smile. And if there's a little silence up front, she finally will break it and just say, "Has anyone asked you?
Hmm?
Has anyone really asked you, Samia? How are you doing after the events of everything?"
Honestly, I feel like pretty well. We took care of the danger. I don't know what you want me to say.
Just the truth. It's all I ever asked for. From my husband, from those that have worked for us, from those I call friends. I'm glad to hear it. I think that's what I can say. But it was you that asked to speak with me, so please don't let me take all of the air out of the room.
You know, things are going to change now. I recall we mentioned to you earlier, months ago now, why we came here.
I do recall it, Samia. It wasn't just to rid the area of bandits, but to potentially turn this place into, well, more than just an untamed wildland.
A kingdom. Or something like it. You've lived here a long time, though, right?
I suppose it depends on your definition of a long time, but yes, Oleg and I have lived here at the trading post for more than a decade. Him,
Oh,
him a little longer than that, but yes.
never mind. That's not so long as all that.
She looks like a little shocked at that, like, but just shrugs it off. Frickin' long live races. Ooh, I'm onto you.
She's not hiding it. What will you do when we really start establishing things?
This place. He looks around at the room you're in, out the window that looks out to the couple of benches, and says, "Not necessarily the trade post, but this land, this Greenbelt region, as it's so called, well, it's mine and Oleg's home. I think, oh, I know, if you'll have the two of us, we'll help you in whatever it is you choose to build. As you said, you've been with us for more than a few months. We've watched you shed blood, protect us from the nightmares that sought to ruin us. We'll help you in what ways that we can. I am not a I'm not a leader or a noble person or someone who knows anything about building cities, but I do know people. I do know cooking. I suppose you might need a cook at some point if you are to become a ruler, whichever one of you chooses to lift the proverbial crown. But we'll help in whatever ways we can, Samia. Not that we feel obligated, but because we want to.
Well, at least we're off to a good start with that. I can't recall if I told you. I'm originally from the River Kingdoms.
I think you mentioned it once, but forgive me, I can't remember precisely where from the River Kingdoms you were.
Oh, doesn't matter. They're all, well, you've probably heard the stories living here.
I have. A bunch of squalling small kingdoms all biting at each other's heels for the next little scrap or small expansion of their borders. When really, if they all just set their differences aside and work together, what a force they could be.
Well, you have what you hold. And if you can't hold it, can you really say you have it? It's not the worst philosophy to live by.
I suppose not. I'm going to ask you a rather poignant question, at least one that I think's poignant, Samir. If you are to rule, and I mean you all as in you, Dennick, Ingram, Theragor, to a lesser extent, Jode, and that silly little bard, Eric. Which of you do you think will lift the crown?
You know, a month ago I would have said it didn't matter. We didn't even know then if we could make anything of this place. I know I said I'm from the River Kingdoms, but I do have some standards for the ruler to whom I would bend a knee. The Staglord had to go because as a ruler, he failed at the most basic tenet. You have what you hold. Your people are what you hold, not with threats. Watching him, I think it's stupid. Watching him made me think I can do that better than him. So maybe it will be me after all.
Do you want it?
I'm starting to think I do. I came here on a whim. I answered Brevoy's call because this is as close to the River Kingdoms as I can get right now. But I like it here.
Then I suppose, Samir, need only prove you are worthy enough to hold it.
Well, thank you for agreeing to not just stick around as neighbors or as subjects, but as people who are willing to help put in the effort.
You're welcome. There's a knock at the door. Oleg mentions that it's getting near dinner time, and he's got a stag, a deer, an elk or something that they've prepared and needs her help, and she nods to that, gives you a smile, and heads out with Oleg, and leaves you with your thoughts, Samia, to exit when you see fit. What else we got? What other scenes that we want to have? Maybe individual scenes. Dennick, go ahead.
So, this is gonna sound like a strange scene in a way, but I think the next day, I basically spend just a little bit of time talking to either Ingram or Theragor, saying, I think I really need like a new pair of shoes. because this place has just been nothing but constant muck and water and all this stuff. And I basically like give measurements saying like, listen, if like a trader comes through here, get me something neat. But at the same time,
Well,
I
mhm.
think, sorry, before you, at the same time, I think actually that Dennick says that he needs a vacation. And he actually will saddle up Burton and say, you know, put up a smoke signal or something if you'd need me, but I'm going camping. And he will ride out and he won't come back for about a week. And he'll just like, he goes off and he relaxes. And it's just like, he rides until he's like an hour away from Oleg's trading post and stops. And you just see this kind of weight lift off of him as he just like allows himself to relax. Like, okay, this has been a lot. There's been so much death and so much big ideas of like, oh, we need to do X, Y, and Z. And to make this even more literal of taking off the pressure, he reaches up to his face and he takes out the set of crystal blue contact lenses that he wears.
Oh.
And um, being alone is one of the few times he allows himself to really relax because he doesn't have pupils in his eyes. And he has found that that makes people very nervous sometimes. And so he wears prosthetics to uh, kind of bridge that gap of humanity.
Mhm.
But other than that, I don't have anything else planned. He goes off and he's like, I need some time to myself. And he wouldn't come back for like a week, basically. If something
That's
happens to him, that's on you.
that's good. I like that. I like that a lot. So you're out in the woods. You've been out, let's say for like a day, maybe a day and a half. Maybe you did some hunting. Maybe you brought rations with you. I leave that up to you, right? I leave that up to you. But as you are by your little campfire, you got a little hearthy, a little hearth, a little hearthy. I don't know why I said it like that. That was weird. Sorry. Just felt right to me at the time. So we've got your little horse. He's like lazily grazing the grass. You're sort of on the border between forest and plains. And give me a perception check, if you'd be so bold. A faint rustle of leaves over from this log. Something moving around the tree. You notice a slightly leafy looking person kind of slip out from behind a tree and is just watching you from a distance. You recognize very quickly Oradora. And she's just kind of watching you a little nervously. Like she gets you kind of get the impression like she knows you wanted privacy, but she's just curious as to what you're doing. And then there's a little rustle of leaves around you, and you get that feeling like you're being watched by something else as well. Not ominous, not a feeling like you might feel like a predator is coming after you, but definitely a presence of the forest is there.
So the sleight of hand is basically Denica just like, oh, puts those back in before anyone could get too close to him.
Mm-hmm.
And he just will kind of say, it's rude to skulk.
Why is it rude to skulk? You seemed content by yourself. I didn't want to disturb that contentness, yet I was still
Well,
curious enough to watch.
But it makes it look like you have something to hide.
Should I have something to hide? Or should I away? You did mention you wanted some time to yourself, yet... Forgive me, I was concerned.
He'll kind of like stand up, make sure that the fire isn't in any risk of like falling over or spreading or anything like that.
Only you
He
can
kind of goes
prevent.
about halfway.
greenbelt forest fires. I'll see myself out.
Well, it does say something about how much you trust me that you think that I can't handle myself out here alone. So why'd you follow me?
It's not that I don't think you can handle yourself, it's... You seemed... I'm not the best with people, Dennick. I mean, look at me. I'm only partly a person. Even less so than you. She, like, motions to your wood arm ever so slightly. Little flower blooms and then dies right away on one of your fingers. I don't feel quite at home at Olegs. The temple is nice, but Jode can be a bit much to handle with his exuberance. Talking about fairs and festivals and even a city there at some point. I suppose... I guess... You're the only other one amongst our friends that has a real connection with the lady. And I feel you're the only one that can understand that burden. Not burden, that's not the right words. It's a blessing of sorts, but it can still be heavy at times. Takes a tentative step forward. Am I making any
Well,
sense?
no, not really. The lady so far has been very what's the word? It's the opposite of needy. If there is anything she expects, she certainly hasn't said it, and she used to be very vocal about me coming closer, and yet now here I am and nothing. So I simply wanted to have the opportunity to get some fresh air and not worry about murder and law and death and all these things. And if the lady wishes to see me, I am in her element.
There's a look of disappointment that crosses her face, like she was searching for a connection, and it was not like heartlessly shot down, but you were just speaking the truth of your own feelings, Dennick. Whether or not Dennick picks up on that, I'll leave it up to you, but there's definitely a look of disappointment that crosses her face. Oh.
Um,
I just snorted,
I
and
suspect
my cat jumped up on all fours and then planted itself and stared at me, and it was really funny. You didn't see it. I'm sorry, but it was really funny. Sorry. Go ahead, Dennick. Sorry.
I don't think Dennick is heartless. I suspect that he probably has a good idea that, like, oh, she's either desperate for a friend or she's desperate for something more. I don't know which one is, and that's me speaking, not Dennick.
Yeah, good. It's fine.
He probably is willing to pick up on that. I don't think he is particularly romantic, if that's what you're insinuating.
Not at all.
Um,
Just someone that can understand, like just a friendly connection is what she's you get the impression she's looking for.
okay. Yeah. If she's looking for a connection about, like, oh, you're touched by the lady and all that means, he doesn't really get that
Mhm.
because he doesn't have any idea as to what the lady actually wants.
Mhm.
And so while he is very much feeling the I will follow a thing I have faith in because that is the meaning of faith. And he is not the kind of person who will ever, break a promise lightly,
Yeah.
if ever. But when talking about the pressure, he doesn't necessarily feel that because,
Yeah.
so far as he understands, that is the only way you live. It's the you live by saying, this is the thing I'm going to follow,
Mhm.
and then you just do it. So there's no, he has yet to be given a crisis of faith, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant. I love it. I love it. You explain that to her. Do you simply sit there in silence, waiting for her to say something? What do you do?
I don't think I would force anything.
Okay.
He'll say, if you want to stay, you can. I will not force anything. But at some point, I would like to be alone. Basically.
At the mention of "I would like to be alone," there's that brief look of sadness that is very quickly painted over by just a kind of numbness, a very neutral look. And Oradora dips her head and steps back towards the tree. I'm sorry I disturbed you. I'll leave you to yourself. As you said, you can take care of yourself.
I will be glad to see you soon.
All right. And she'll slip back towards the tree and kind of phase into it, and then poof. There's a faint rustling of leaves around you, and you know that there hasn't been any really strong feelings or pressure. There's a pain in that arm, when you sleep on your arm and you wake up and it's all tingly. You know what I'm talking about? You cut off the blood flow. Your arm kind of feels like that. And maybe you move it a little bit. Maybe you shift a little bit. And as you shift, you're looking around, and you realize that as you move your arm, if you point it to the southwest, it doesn't hurt as much. South, so west, so south, west, south, southwest, south, southwest. There it is, south, southwest. So mostly south, but a little bit west. There's less pain, and there's kind of this ominous, something bad lies in that direction kind of feeling you get. And the leaves rustle again, and that's the same rustle of leaves that always happens when the lady is near. And there's this not a voice, but just a feeling in your head that's that's where you've got to go. Not right this second, but soon. And I'm going to keep reminding you of it over and over. So this rest and relaxation you want, you got about 3 hours of it. And now it's gone, and nothing but impending dread. Nothing but impending dread again.
Fuck you for wanting something good for your game.
You forgot what game you were playing.
I did say that it did seem like I was lacking in context clues, so I suppose some clarity is welcome. I will still probably stay out for 4 or 5 days.
Good.
Of at least I want to try and not be murdering anything.
Yeah.
And
you get that time.
I get into a good routine of plant food, a little bit of exercise, do a thing, spin around. Okay, so it hurts ever so little. That's 6 degrees south. Okay, that's fine. 5 degrees south, mild discomfort. 4 degrees south, generally okay.
Yep.
7 degrees south, okay, that's not quite as good. And kind of getting used to that sensation, because I'm wanting to serve, but I also need to know kind of what the limitations of that are. And after that, I would head back to Olegs.
I love it. That's perfect.
We could just go to the first world and go talk to the Lady of the Woods or whatever. Say hey.
Do you want to be eaten by the Lord of the Hunt? Because he'll do it.
No.
I'll
This
do
was
it.
a joke.
It's like a
This is
CR19. I mean,
listen. Stop it.
It's probably gonna go bad for you.
Stop trying to murder us.
You're murdering yourself if you do that. I'll let you do whatever you want. Just, I was hoping this campaign would last longer than, 12, 13 sessions.
Well, I wasn't thinking the first world. I was actually thinking somewhere in between. So like I don't know,
1.5 world.
The 0.5
well,
world?
it's more like a flower store. Like
Oh, okay.
you go to like Sunnyside or something, and it's
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
a botanist or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's like Walmart, but
A
for
bus stop.
Yeah.
You want to go to an
You want to go to
interdimensional
Plant Limbo. That makes sense. I like that. Plant bow, as it were.
Well, actually, sorry. I was thinking more like IKEA, because you walk in and then it's like, I need to go to the section for the flowers, and it's kind of like halfway between this really weird food court that only serves pine cones and halfway between like a fine wooden furniture section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's only like 3 ways to get through the whole thing,
Yeah.
but they're all technically the same thing because it's all the same stuff. Yeah.
I was at IKEA yesterday, and that place
So
is a
confusing.
maze. And like, it's so well designed to keep you in there, and you have to like find the little secret passageways. It's that was a
Dude.
lot. It's a lot. That's
Yeah,
all I'm saying. It's a lot.
I've been there once. I hated it.
It's cool. I like IKEA. It's
Yeah.
actually good. They have like really good
It is
deals and
good
stuff.
stuff.
The shelf we wanted to get for the books for my daughter was out of stock, so that was disappointing. But anyway, I
definitely
digress.
run
Other scenes. I opened it up again. The other scenes folks would like to have.
Ingram, a few days after getting to know Ressie again, finding out what she's
Yeah.
been up to.
Oh man, she has worked at several taverns as a
Mhm.
bouncer, has been kicked out of each and every one for being too rough on clientele. She says a story about how that one guy, look, maybe she didn't have to break all his fingers, but he got a little grabby, and he's definitely not going to be grabbing for at least 5 to 6 weeks.
Wonderful. Is super excited to have her here.
Yeah.
Super, super good to have her here.
She's
Updates her.
she's like very roughhousey, like has her arm around you, gives you like noogies all the time, like a big sister, like a buff big sister, and she's just
Mhm.
like, Ingram, you're a little hound dog, you, a little noogie and whatnot, and she's like, you're a wizard, you're noodly, you got noodle arms, and she like will
Dear
try to
God,
wave
I
her
regret
arms.
everything.
Hey man, you created this character. I'm just
I
giving it
did.
life.
I did. But he does update her on everything, and I mean everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even the stuff they don't know about.
Okay.
In character, that is.
Okay.
And I think at a point he like just kind of breaks down and just like it's like, this is a bad idea talking about this. I'm sad now. I'm a bad father.
Is this the first time she's hearing of it?
Um, he might have like when he was like too deep in when she like forced him out to go drinking with him and he got too deep, he might have mentioned something or something like that, like regrets and stuff, but not necessarily.
Okay. 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 Well, that's interesting. So you're like just like trauma dumping on her, info
Mm-hmm.
dumping, and she's just like, "Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, you killed this. Wow. All right. Oh. Wow. You're how old? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow. All right. Um and like at a certain point you're like, and then I met him on the river and he told me that the next time we met, and she's just like puts her hand on your face. Like puts her hand on your face to stop you from talking. She's like, and she just goes, shh, shh, shh,
Okay.
shh, and she holds it there, and she's got big hands, waiting for you to stop talking. And then she waits another like 15 seconds, takes it off slowly. If you start talking again, it goes right back. And then she pulls it back and she says, Ingy, this is a lot to digest. I can see, she's speaking quiet, that you've been through a lot. And we're cousins through adoption. And I don't want to sound, well, heartless, Ingy, but from what you've told me, this situation you find yourself in, I think you realize it, but maybe you need your less older cousin to remind you, you did do this to yourself. And from what you've told me, and I don't say that hatefully, I'm not trying to fill it with judgment, Inky, but at a certain point, your teacher son teacher, that's a little confusing part. He also made his own choices. You can't really blame yourself because, I mean, you simply weren't there. Suppose you could blame yourself for not being there, but hell, how long do you people live? Hundreds of years?
Maybe
And
3,
a long
maybe
time.
4.
At a certain point, everyone makes their own choices. Good, bad, otherwise. At this point, I mean, if the whispers I've heard around the cooking pot are true, you're gonna have a lot of other things to worry about. And if this man in yellow, your son tutor son? Tutor son,
It's
I
just
like
my
that.
son.
Yeah,
Fine.
tutor son, that's what I said. He's probably gonna show back up. It'll be your choice whether or not you... She puts an arm around you and kind of pulls you close. Put him in the ground, or do your best to fix him. Can't tell you what'll happen, but whatever it is, I'll be here at least to drink with you until you feel nothing afterwards.
Right.
And she will fill up your beer mug again with some very high alcohol content, like beer.
Yeah.
Very high alcohol content.
All right.
I'd like to pivot away, if I may, over
Yeah,
to
so
a scene with... Go ahead, Ingram.
that's not actually one of the scene I wanted to do, but it's
Well,
fine. We can come back to
It's
it.
fine. We can come back to it. We
Yeah.
got time. Like we're doing a bunch of
Yeah.
little vignettes here. I'd like to pull
Yeah.
Theragor aside real quick.
All
And
right.
it's going to be Theragor and Creston. And
Creston.
Creston Grevis.
Creston.
He's there. He's a guy. He exists. He's a pretty cool guy. I like him a lot. He is... I did the token. Akaros went back to the Temple of the Stag, with Jode, and he's working on his atonement, so he's not there. But he's over by the cart, and he just walks over. Maybe you're like unloading some supplies. Maybe it's even the anvil that you went to pick up, and he's helping you with it. And as things are, kind of settling down, you have a moment to breathe and catch your breath. He says, "Verogor, it occurs to me that now that the Staglord has been defeated, well, there comes a turning point in this little experiment of ours. When we first spoke, you'd mentioned that at some point you planned to turn this place into something more than a wild, untamed region of chaos. Perhaps turn it into something a bit more, well, kingdom-like. That's still what you plan to do.
Indeed. It is our plan to establish some sort of holding here to make sure that someone like the Staglord cannot come back in again and establish themselves. Law and order, but a free place where people can grow things, build things, and live good lives. Yes, my friends and I are going to be meeting on this, I think within a couple of days, to work out some details. Why do you ask?
Because my men and I, our charter, that is to say, what we were charged with doing, protecting Olegs in the face of the Staglord, technically it's at an end. And my little band of mercenaries and myself find ourselves free agents again.
Ah,
We could very
I
easily
see.
pack up, head off, find the next short-term job, escorting people, killing some bandits, but I've grown tired of wandering. I think we'd like to stay here and help. I'm not asking for an official role other than what is befitting a man of my station. Just a chance to do some good. To provide a bit of law and order, as you mentioned. That is to say, if you all will have me.
I believe would speak for all of my companions that you would be most welcome. Why don't you travel to the castle on the It's on the Tuskwater, correct?
Yeah, the Tuskwater, yeah.
To the castle of the Tuskwater. I'll be returning there in a few days, or you can travel with me. I plan to visit the Temple of Erastil before I return. But yes, I would very much like to see you there. Help us build a place where, well, a home for you and your men.
He nods to that. Not that I am a engineer of any sorts, but the location of the Stag Fort does seem a good location, perhaps, to strike ground on a capital. Just a thought.
Yes, well, I will be. When I leave, shall let you know.
Nods. Very good, Therigal. And thank you. You fought well
Thank you.
during that assault. So did Samir.
Yes. And I guess he falls into silence once again, thinking about the fallen kobolds.
So many fallen kobolds. You can hear their screams. It's like Vietnam dog. Just like just they get cut down, just screaming. You see Micmac fall and then get brought back to life. Like it's a whole thing. Just massive trauma. That's beautiful.
Rise in the Bumblebee starts playing in the background.
Yeah,
Eric,
that's good.
stop it!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's good.
I
So
just like
Eric leaves for a few days to actually deliver news to the Restovian lords and then return with like whatever their answer was. So he's gone for about a week. I do want to open it up again, as I have multiple times this session, to any other scenes you'd like to have while he's gone. But he's actually going to take word to be like, Staglords defeated. What do you want us to do next? Like, what's the next big thing, as it were? Yeah.
I want to do a scene with everyone.
I think that's a good idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Theragor wants a quick scene with Jode.
Okay.
Just some time.
Okay.
So, whatever order you would like that to be in.
I like that. I'm gonna just sort of start to station everybody.
I meant just the players.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, then you
Yeah.
have to be clear about that.
I was getting there.
I just want the players. We're more important than the NPCs. That way, Wolf can't say anything in character.
I guess just be quiet and shut up.
That's fair.
So I just wanted to get everyone together and say, well, so we all uncovered the anvil recently. Therago was looking for. I think in sometime soon that it would be safe to use. I was wondering if all of you wanted to go with me and try and decipher its use. I know a few of you have come to me with requests for enchants and upgrades. I'm very able to do this. I just thought it could be a group effort.
Certainly.
Yes, of course.
This would be after, like, Denick has done his walkabout,
Yeah.
I believe.
I'm always happy to assist. Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish.
I'm always happy to assist, though I feel like I might be called a little bit too. The lady's method of speaking to me has grown a little bit more impressionistic. And there's something in it, and I kind of point to exactly the direction that does not feel pain. In that direction, which she is concerned about. So,
I see.
Do we know if there's anything particular in this direction?
I mean, not areas you've explored. And
Yeah.
like it was a very strong. I want to be very clear, Denik. It was a very strong impression at first. It dwindled over time, and now it's just sort of a dull numbness. It's a strong foreshadow to something you guys will be dealing with in chapter 2.
Ah.
But yeah, it's there definitely, and I think it's very apt for you to bring it up.
Well,
But yes, regarding the anvil, I'm always happy to help.
right.
You look like you
What-
need to say something, Samia.
Oh, just that, especially with Gorla still out there and unaccounted for, I think that all of us sticking together near the anvil, even those of us who can't use it, is all to the good.
I agree.
Yes. Bringing it back to Olegs while we get the fort fortified seems like a good idea. We always have men there.
While we're all kind of together, I do also have one big question as well. What the hell are we doing? The Staglord is gone, so
Right.
Well,
Our charter was not a hit mission. It wasn't to kill the Staglord, it was to civilize this place.
And I'm thinking that we'll learn more once Eric
once
has
Eric
returned.
returns. Yes.
What exactly form that takes, yes.
Creston and his men have expressed an interest to come to the castle and to help us build whatever we build here.
Yeah. Every barony needs some sort of nightly order, right?
A voice in the sky says, "Baronessy." I digress. Continue, please. Sorry.
Oh,
That's such a bad
It was
way
so
to-
bad. I'm gonna be a dad soon. I'm getting my dad jokes down.
Stick with Barony.
Yeah.
Baronessy.
Ooh.
I hate it.
Ooh.
Are we
Stick
gonna
with
be
Barony.
some form of correct government?
mm,
I spoke with Svetlana about it too. She and Oleg are interested in being more than just trading partners in whatever we're building here.
From outside at the bench where all the NPCs who weren't invited are sitting, you hear
My
Ardnar
God.
Goldsmith be like, "Aye, lads and lassie, like you got big hands. That's a good, strong woman over there. You say you're the cousin? Oh, adopted. Yeah, you're much better looking than him. Anyway, I'm thinking of sticking around for everybody, because they're going to need a smith, and they're going to need, going to need people who know how to build.
Open the door.
I'm pretty
We're
good.
having a meeting in here.
Oh, sorry, lads." And then it pivots back over to you guys having your meeting. Please continue.
Fireball! No.
That's great. That's
Um,
great.
No. But yeah, Svetlana, Oleg, all of them are very capable individuals. The Paladin, I've not had a chance to speak with. What was his name? He's a big dude. He's very intimidating. I haven't talked to him yet. What
I
was
think
the
You mean
Paladin's name?
Akaros?
yeah.
You mean
Yes.
Akiros?
Yes.
Yes. He seems free,
Capable?
capable.
Mhm.
I mean, you saw him. He killed like 15 people.
He did almost.
Indeed.
He was very close to death. He had like 3
He was
HP.
very effective.
He had 3 HP.
Almost dead. We've got to do something about that. We all keep almost dying, and I hate it. He pulls out a book. To-do list. Good necromancy? Question mark.
Good. Good
You
Lichstone?
mean healing?
Above it,
Get-
above it is sexy goblin? Question mark.
Holy Goblin?
Holy God.
Holy Vampire Goblin? Question mark?
Zombie Viking
Nick,
vampire pirates.
Nick, you have something to say. You're opening your mouth. Talk.
Well, my friends, I must admit I don't really know how much I can do here now. The Lady of the Forest has named me her champion, but I don't know how much of what she would feel about a nation here. And I feel I am being pulled between these two promises that I have made. One, to the Sword Lords of Restove and one to, well, whatever she is. And I am scared that I do not know what that conflict of interest will mean. I do not wish to break either of these promises.
I think it's safe to say that this country would mean no harm to the Lady of the Woods. And as a part of that, I mean, we are going to need someone on the far reaches to surveil, find people, take care of things out there. It, no matter what the form your faith, contracts takes you, rest assuredly, we're not going to saddle you with more than you can handle.
And
You
I
are a
think
part of this, and that is whatever form it takes is what we're figuring out and what is being decided. Not now, even it could be a while.
I'm just
Before
worried that we're going to start bringing in lumber or something to build up the fortifications around the Staglords Fort, and all of a sudden I'll have the lady in my head saying one bone broken for every branch. And I don't want to be in that position,
I think
Well, correct me if I'm mistaken. I can't say that I know as much of woodscraft as you, perhaps, but I do understand that some trees need to be taken down to make room for new growth.
Sustainable forestry. Brought to you by
Yeah.
Samia.
I
I
have
think
like
Theragor has
two
something to
skill
say.
points in nature,
Mhm.
so let me do this.
Ow! Fudge muffins. My other cat just bit me.
Wow,
They're
your cats
so
are
bitey right.
being mean to
They're
you.
so aggressive right now.
You know what? You deserve it.
I
Ooh.
mean, I was rubbing his belly and playing
Aw, that
aggressively
is,
with him, so it's my fault.
yeah.
I'm sorry, I have 3 ranks in knowledge nature. I think that means I can maybe know a little bit about
Right.
You
sustainable
know,
forestry.
give me a
Yes,
knowledge
that's
nature
right.
check. Let's see how much you know about
Oh,
sustainable
crap.
forestry. Put your dice where your
Where
so-called
my mouth
in-character
is.
knowledge is.
What
You know a lot
the
about
fuck?
sustainable forestry.
What the fuck?
Damn.
Yo, girl, what you know
The
about
dice have a
nature?
story to tell, and
The dice have a
apparently
dice
the
to tell.
fire person knows about sustainable forestry.
Mainly because you've burned down forests in the past
Yeah.
because of your fire hair. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, makes sense.
But Dinnick, I think you raised an excellent point. I think the wisest thing to do is for us to seek the lady out. Let her know our intentions and see how she feels about them. If
We'll
there are
make sure. We don't
any
want
account,
to. Sorry, go
yes,
ahead.
yeah, any accommodations that we need to make to her. We wish for her to be our ally and our friend.
Queen, the Lady of the Woods, does have a nice ring to it.
Queen Lady of the Woods. Wow.
I'm just saying. An option.
Yeah, okay. I'll see if I can find out Dora. Maybe she can help me to make that happen quickly.
But in the meantime, let's go figure out how a forge works.
Absolutely.
Sounds fine.
Absolutely.
Out of
How do we do
character.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just works. It lets you just do crafting at a plus.
Yeah.
I think I said a plus
Okay.
10. Like it just makes
As,
it just makes it really easy to craft.
I think you said +5 caster level and access to all applicable feats.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
All right, there's
All
the
right.
anvil. I've put it in the area. It's right there. Look at that. Yeah. It's glowing with a holy symbol of
It's
Torag.
right there.
All right.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Yeah. We
So,
did say that that Theragor had gone and gotten it, and that
yeah.
Creston was helping him carry it.
Yeah.
Even though it can
We'll
turn into the
say
size of a pocket.
Okay.
we'll say we went,
Yeah.
got it together, and
Okay.
then when we came back,
Yeah.
that was the conversation.
Not everything has to be
there
about Ingram. I just want to be clear about that, okay, Ingram?
Listen,
I'm just kidding. I
it-
love you. You're beautiful.
does. Okay.
It does.
No.
It really does.
No.
No. It's Ingram Maker. It's the name of this campaign.
Yes. Um, Although there is one thing that I would like to craft now that we have access to that. Um, it's going to be a little bit of a cutscene with Theragor.
Ooh,
When he's
Mm.
like trying to figure it out and doing like test runs of it.
yeah.
I think when it's just like Theragor, maybe the other worker guy.
Computer
Mhm.
on computer. That's a good
Huh.
reference. Thank you. All right.
You gotta unplug the RAM and plug it back in and power cycle, and that's fine.
I mean, generally speaking, lads, you hit it with a hammer, make sure the metal's been heated up, and it's nothing crazy.
Right. Ingram's gonna say to Theragor,
Oh yeah,
I
just
think
ignore the actual smith. Talk to the other guy.
Yeah,
Oh, look at
yeah.
him. He's got the holy symbol of Torah. He must know more about smithing. Hey, fuck off.
rein it in. I'm kidding. um, Therago, I did have an idea about our first test thing we could make. He is going to leave, come back with like a black burlap bag, and he is going to pull out like 10 daggers. They're all of like different make, different sizes. Um, I pulled these off of some of the enemies that didn't need them back at the fort. Um, I want to make something with these. And I've been thinking about it for the past week or so, and I think there's really only one person who can run this whole place. I think Samia is a very good candidate for that.
Ooh.
He's gonna use his 21 in intelligence right now
Right.
to be use outside knowledge. He like to roll outside knowledge. No, I'm kidding. Um, and he is going to go around and ask Denick if he would like to chip in for a crown of swords. It's
Ooh.
a cast level third wondrous item. It gives
Ooh.
10 times per day an immediate action to make a spiritual weapon for like when she's hit.
That's pretty
Oh.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like
Fancy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. It's like 3,000 for me to make it. I can put in 1,000 if anyone else wants to chip in.
So I'm sorry, you want to make a hat out of these daggers?
It's gonna be magical.
That sounds incredibly uncomfortable.
Did we? Yeah. As long as they're not pointed all in this way.
Yeah.
A crown of assassination, and then you just
Yeah.
murder Samia. Poor Samia. Golly
Yeah. Aw.
Ooh, time
Set the rug
to
on
roll.
fire.
Time to roll
Damn
my
it.
kobold character.
What
Damn it!
what a twist.
Hell yeah.
Mick the kobold.
Mick Oh
Yeah.
Yeah,
god.
Micmac's
If you tell me,
Micmac's twin
Macarena.
sister.
if you tell me that this thing is safe,
Of course.
then that is fine. What do you need from me?
Just some funds. I put in 1,000. If you guys want to put in 1,000 too, that's cool. I can put in more.
We each had 9,500. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You had a lot of
Okay.
gold.
Yes.
I
Mhm.
need to double check that I
Mhm.
have that much gold. Because I did make a lot of requests to you outside the game,
Yeah, it
outside
was
of the camera.
7.
Should-
And
Go ahead.
I might need to wait until we can liquidate the rest of the stuff, that we
Yeah.
had.
I think it was
give me a minute.
2,000. I think it was 2,000 to re-enchant the blade, and then whatever the belt and the belt boots are.
Give me a sec here. I think I had it written down.
Because you
But
can just
I
pay
must.
crafting costs on that as well, since you're using me. And there we go.
Yeah. So yes, I do have enough to do that because I had just over 8,000 worth of crafting to be done.
Okay. Wow.
So
But
yeah,
Ingram-
he'll be like, "You want this?" And I'll be like, "You may have these things. I certainly don't wish to be carrying around all this money."
It
That
was
looks heavy.
2,000 for the belt, 2,000 for the
Mhm.
sword.
No, it
and
was 4,000 for the sword.
again, you're asking me to recraft the sword, so it's done as cost.
Yes, I know that. I had already half the price for you in that.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot because it would be worth to buy it straight up without crafting would be 8,000 GP or 8,300. But
No, that's for a
yeah,
plus.
two.
What?
So it's
Hold on. I'm confused.
the
It's fine.
the weapon is the equivalent of a +2 weapon, which is
Mhm.
8,000 GP. Or if you're using crafting fees for it, it's 4,000 GP.
Hmm. Is it? Oh.
Yes. That's part of the magic item creation rules when you're using the feats.
Pricing by bonus. Oh. Hold on. Huh.
I mean, I can find the references for you if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm just trying to like educate myself too.
Yeah,
So
so +2 weapon is 8,000 gold, so crafting it would be 4,000, plus the cost
Okay.
of the masterwork, which is built into the cost of the magic weapon. So yeah, 4,000 for
Okay.
+2.
For some reason, I thought it was like 1,000 per like
Nope,
enhancement bonus.
there's a chart for it.
No, it's the enhancement squared times 1,000 is the
Okay.
actual
That is
cost.
correct.
But you divide that by 2 because you're crafting with it. It's an additional 300 GP for basically a scroll of create masterwork. Because the item in question was already made and it wasn't a masterwork item, so I need to make it into a masterwork one, and then you can enchant it into the other thing. But I didn't think
Okay.
that was stuff for the camera, because it was,
Right. Right. Okay.
really fidgety stuff.
All right.
Anyways, yes, I'm happy to do that, but yeah, it'll be like I'm not going to be obviously wandering around with giant sacks of gold on me. That's heavy and annoying,
Yeah.
So if you ask for money, it's just like, yeah, sure, that's fine, and
All right.
I'm sure that Samia will be happy to, accept a gift like that.
All right.
Thergor will say, Ingram, I sense that Torag would allow you to use this forge, but you must always pledge to respect the forge. You must never intentionally create inferior works with it. And that which you create upon the forge must serve your people, our people. Do this, and Torag will be pleased.
The
And will continue
greater
to allow you to
good.
do
The
this.
greater good. I'm done.
I'm doing my part now. Thego, I would never intend to disrespect something like this. Even now, I can sense the magic coming off of it. I didn't grow up with much. Was literally living on the street. So I understand the importance of things,
Good.
even people.
Well, as long as that is clear,
Right,
I look forward to seeing what you produce.
right. I would need your help actually making these into a crown, though. I look over to what's his name again? Out of character?
I
What
think
the
it's
Do you mean
speaking?
Original Goldsmith?
Argonal
Oh, now the
Goldsmith.
little fancy pantsy little wizard wants the man who knows how
I
to shape
didn't
the
say that
steel.
in
Oh,
character.
now he's like, oh, Mr. Forgy man, I need you to help me. Yeah, I'll do it. I'm just giving you shite.
Um, as a bit of like RP, I
Yay.
do want to like find something that is like reflective because her hair is like literally like fire, right?
Aye, she's made of flame.
Yeah.
Talking to okay.
Pretty sure she might actually be on fire. Probably should put her out. She's gonna burn away at some point.
I want to find something that I can put on the metal that'll like keep well that is a bit reflective. So it
Like
looks like,
silver.
yeah, it kind of like that
Sure.
would be reflective, and it's like kind of tinted
Yeah.
red, so it's like
Yeah.
a red
Maybe
crown,
a little like maybe
and
a
it
little
looks like
mithril.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's not actual fire. Sorry,
It's made
right.
of.
I had that right.
You're actually on fire. In my head canon,
Mm-mm.
it is.
Okay, it
It's not okay, so you're
flickers
not
and
actually on fire.
it flickers and waves as if it were a flame, according to the source.
I mean, I literally just heard, my name's Mimi, my hair's on fire. That's literally what I just heard. So, it's fine. I don't know why you keep repeating what things I've just said, but that's fine. You know, you do you.
Okay. Well then
Whatever
I
helps you
guess
get into the character, that's whose hair's on fire.
Yep,
It's totally fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
all right. Well, I guess something that would like channel her innate outsiderness and make it look like the crown is on
Yeah,
fire.
some sort of reflective metal. Totally done.
Yeah.
Tinfoil. I don't know.
Tinfoil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
Red tinfoil crown.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's literally just like, and then Samia walks around, protects me from the aliens. It's good. It's good. That's perfect. All right. So, anything else to add? As you guys will obviously have access to crafting, Argnal will stop being such a little shit, and will do as he's told. It's good. I like that. A couple days go by, a week or so, and Ingram returns. And Ingram doesn't return alone. He actually
What?
returns with
I
someone.
return? Where did I go?
Not Ingram. I meant Eric. That's what I said.
Okay.
You sure?
Shh. Let it happen. Eric returns, and as he returns, he actually returns with someone in tow. And you may remember this woman as the woman who apparently works for Stone Enterprises. And she had tagged along with him, hearing tell that, oh wow, things have gone well, and you guys might be forming a kingdom. And he will come in, gather everyone around, and will read out loud a proclamation from none other than the regent of the Dragonscale throne. Dun,
Mhm.
dun, dun, dun. All right. Be it known that the bearer of this charter, having delivered the northern reaches of the green belt from the scourge of banditry, having provided detailed maps of the lay of the land, and having done no small amount of work in exploration of said land and the culling of hostile monsters and indigenous hazards, are hereby granted the right to rule. The nature and laws of rule are theirs to define, and the... what is that word?
Well-being.
Well-being, that's what I said. It's a weird looking W. Well-being of this new nation is theirs to protect. In accordance for providing a stable nation to the south of central Rostland, let there be a generous stipend of funds, support in advance, provided to this fledgling nation as a token of Restove and Brevoy's goodwill, such that the future relations between kingdoms might mutually be beneficial. So witness under the watchful eye of the lordship of Restove by authority granted by the Lord Noleski Storkova, current regent of the Dragonscale throne. Dunt, frickin' dunt. You guys have a charter that allows you to rule and make your own kingdom. Hot diggity
Hell
damn.
yeah.
All right. And with that being said, who wants a 10-minute break?
Pressure.
Who wants a 10-minute break? Because I need a break. Quick little
I
break.
will take a
Is that
10-minute
good?
break.
I'll take a
Yeah.
10-minute break. All right, we'll be back here. A little bit of time. Stick around. And if you don't, well, that's on you. You're an adult. You can make your own decisions. Bye.
completed a DC 16 craft sculptures or craft pottery check, but the manual gives you +5 on those checks. So,
Yeah.
Right.
Lots of checks, lots of bonuses. That's good. Yep.
the
Where
point
you...
is that like actual
This is for
golems
the
are.
actual golem manual. I'm not using a golem manual
Yeah, so
because I
that's
don't
like
need
saying
to.
please have 30,000 gold worth of time plus a month, plus nearly 2 months worth of crafting time.
I understand that. What I'm seeing though is that under each construct's stat block, there is a construction portion of it. Here, I'll just list the junk golem here.
Oh, you want to
As
make a
you're
junk golem?
as you're listing
Yeah.
that, we're gonna pivot over to the Temple of the Elk. Pivot over to the Temple of the Elk, where Theragor has chosen to meet up with none other than Jode. And you know who's with him? You know who came with you? Creston. Yeah, Creston's there.
Excellent.
Yeah, and none of these other guys. The other guys are off doing their own thing. But before we do that,
Sure.
I would like to do a quick word from our sponsors, Dare Wolf Bucks. Eventually, they'll have some, monetary value, but not yet. All right, now back to our game. Here we go. We got Creston. Let me grab Creston. Skadoosh. All right, cool. Here we are. Mordor is very pensive off in the corner. Pervilash is trying to comfort her, but also plotting murder, which is good. Eh,
So long as it's not any of our murders.
no, probably. All right, go ahead. Take it away.
Yeah, so after we've made our, we've greeted each other and stuff, he
Can
said
you
that-
believe it, my old companion? We've done it. We've defeated the Staglord, Rastil, and Torag to some lesser extent, maybe greater extent, I'm not sure. Must be brilliantly pleased. What brings you by the glorious temple to the true Staglord, I should say?
to speak to you about what lies before us. As you know, myself and my companions, we've been given the right to rule this land, to build a kingdom, if you will.
He
And,
looks a little surprised because he wasn't there
Mhm.
when that message came in. He says, well, I had assumed such a letter would come in, but not so soon. This is exciting news, Theragor. We have a chance to make something real, something lasting, something that Eric isn't here, but bards can sing about for years to come.
Well, it is precisely about that I wish to speak to you. I, of course, plan to build a temple to Torag in the city that we build. However, I know full well that the majority of the people who live within the Greenbelt are followers of Arestil. Our kingdom will need a high priest, someone to guide the spiritual matters of the land. I'm wondering if you might be more suited to this than I.
As you go to say you might be more suited, he's in the process of saying, I think you'll make an excellent... Wait, what are you saying? I'm sorry, what?
I wish to follow the tenets of Torag, to build things that are good. And I know that I can do this through the building of the kingdom itself. I haven't decided yet, but I wanted to see what you thought of it. What would be best for this land?
Jode rubs his mustache, his beautiful handlebar mustache, and just strokes it slightly.
Because
You are not
Theodore definitely
wrong.
doesn't know. Yeah.
You are not wrong, Theragor, that most of those who would call this place home, at least for now, would worship, well, the Lord of the Hunt, Lord of Hearth and Home, Erastil. My goal, as you've known for many years, has been to find this temple, to see it rebuilt and turned back into a place of pilgrimage for those of the faith. You know how it is when your mind is set upon something, old friend. It is all you think about, and finally, when you're in the midst of doing it, you realize, well, I might look old, but I'm not that old. I have years ahead of me, Erasto willing. I'd never considered being anything more than a wandering cleric, but now that we're here, now that I'm seeing this holy temple rebuilt, slowly but surely, I think I might stop wandering, Theragal. It would not be my first choice. And as he mentions not his first choice, Akaros comes around the corner and is moving stone, and he sort of gives a quick look over towards Akaros, who is wearing penance clothing, like a robe, and he's doing a lot of manual labor.
Mm-hmm.
Joe turns to him, smiles, looking like approving, and then back to Theragor and says, "Perhaps there is a bit of good I could do from a position of power. Don't say that because I want it. I say it because, well, a friend of mine is suggesting it, and I trust his opinion. So if you need me, yes, I will be there."
Very well. Thank you. I think perhaps that I might I might try to be sort of be the counselor to the crown, if you will.
Well, as my first order of business, as high priest as you put it, it will be to repent, heretic! And he goes to playfully bat at you and laughs heartily as he says that. Repent! Just kidding.
Yes.
I think you would make an excellent counselor. You have a cool head and a wise mind. You would do well to whoever... Wait, who's going to be in charge?
Well, nothing has been decided yet, but I think it'll be Samir.
The one whose hair's on fire?
Well, it is not exactly on fire. It just it
on
appears
fire.
that way sometimes.
It's on fire.
But yes,
She does have the flair for leadership, I would say. At least looks. A bit quiet, but perhaps that's what a good leader is. Listens more than they talk. Well, I'm going to continue our work here, helping our dear companion Akaros on his road to atonement. Is there anything else you needed?
that is all, my friend. Thank you.
Good. Now there's a few large heavy stones I need you and Creston to help move. You thought you were going to come here and do a short visit. No, I'm putting you to work for several hours. As High Priest, I command it!
It would be my pleasure to help.
Creston
Build.
grumbles slightly, but not much. He's more laughing. So yeah, you guys can help build some stuff. That's good. That's good. You've put a very goofy goober in charge of religion. So good luck with that, baby.
I really hadn't decided. I really hadn't made up my mind yet. So
He's
I
all
want to
about
see what he
He's
thought.
all about it. He's like,
Okay.
why not? Most of the time, and most of the times I've run this, he's become High Priest. It just kind of makes sense. But no, I would have loved to see you as High Priest. It'd been good, but Counselor is a good role. All right. So you're going to head down, do some planning down at the Stag Fort. I don't necessarily think we need a scene down there, just knowing that it's done. Anyone else have anything before we do kind of a big powwow with everyone and start talking about roles that folks want to take?
Yes.
Perfect, Denny, go ahead.
I think I would like to try and contact the lady directly to say, hey, this is the equivalent of needing to get the approval of the locals before you set up shop, or in my country, going to the reservations and talking to them. So I'd be trying to find Eudora to say, hey, I know she's mysterious. I need to speak to the lady. Can you help me to do this?
Oradora is a very reserved when she speaks to you this time, but she very duty bound is of course, I know places of thinness where you might be able to contact her. There's one such place not far from here.
I would like to invite Samia to come along for sure.
Perfect. Love that journey for you. So you guys head off to a small tower that has long since crumbled. It's not too far away from the Temple of the Elk, deep in the heart of the Narmalsh Forest, deep, deep in the heart. And you guys set up a little camp there. You've been hanging out. Oradora sets up like a couple of like branches and like herbs and whatnot, little like sort of ritual, and goes into a bit of a trance trying to reach out to the lady. And you feel your arms start to tingle, and the wood seems to grow just a little bit more, maybe like up your neck and kind of right along the edge of your jaw. And as it does so, there is once again that rustling of branches, like they're clattering together, and there's a bunch of vines that have like overgrown, like kudzu, or like the ivy kind of thing have grown over this. They start to form into that that look, that lady, that feminine sort of tree. And Oradora bows her head very low, very respectfully. My lady, your champion, the one you chose, has asked for an audience with you. Forgive the interruption, but he was rather insistent. And the rustle of leaves looks left towards Samia, right towards Dennick, and then over at Oradora. My child, you have no need to ask for forgiveness. If my champion wishes to speak with me, I am at his disposal. Tell me, champion, what troubles your mind?
I stand here now as a person with feet solidly in two different camps. Yours, and I glance at Samia, and hers. There will become a time soon where we wish to try and bring civilization here. And I need to know that what I'm doing, what she is doing, is not going to bring these two camps into conflict. So, if people are to try and make this place their home in a way that would make them comfortable, what must we do to ensure it does not upset you?
There is a contemplative rustling of branches, a clattering like trees in winter when they're heavy with ice and the wind blows. You hear that kind of crackling sound as ice breaks and the branches bend and bow. And you get the impression not of anger, but of gratitude, actually. Of gratitude. It may surprise you, champion. It may surprise you, daughter, and it may surprise you, one whose hair flickers as fire, but not is such, that it does my heart good to hear you ask this question, champion. It is not my intent to keep civilization from these lands. In the past, those that have come, they have fought against me, against my own subjects. They have burned trees and uprooted fairy circles, and I have in the past fought against them. But it is a cycle that repeats itself over and over and over, until all that remains is ash, and in that ash men like the Staglord, men like the man in yellow, they build shrines to pain, to greed. Perhaps it is time we try a different approach, one of collaboration. Yes, champion, when I first reached out to you, I sought one who might help me fight against the encroachment of humanity. But now as I have watched you, now as I have seen your little band of friends. I wonder if perhaps we cannot work together. So you ask me, what must you do to ensure that your pledge to me does not interfere with your pledge to her? Leave a bit of room for the trees. Do not clear-cut everything. Do not mistreat the forest. Take what you need and nothing more. Leave room for those little creatures of the woods to build their own homes. Live in harmony, not in excess. Do this, and your duty to me shall be fulfilled. Do this, and the face like the face like leaves and branches turn to Samia. Your duty to this one may also be filled, but that will be for her to decide.
I have no arguments with anything you've said here, Lady of the Forest.
Lady of the Woods, miss.
Lady of the Woods.
I'm just kidding. She doesn't correct me. It's fine. I'm just being a dick.
In the interest of opening proper diplomatic channels, do you have a preferred name that I should be using officially?
You may simply call me the Lady, which is a reference to a book series that you may or may not know, and I didn't mean to do it when I wrote this, because I didn't know about that series, but now I know that series. I love the Black Company so much. So good. I just finished book 3. Oh, it's so good. It's one of the best
Well,
audiobooks
if she
to
turns
listen
out
while
to
I
be
go to
that
work.
sort of lady, I'm very concerned.
I would be too.
We're all
She's not. Probably. You should meet a husband. I digress. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Just the lady.
All right.
Or
So
Miss Woods, I guess. I'm just kidding. The lady's fine.
okay, the lady, 2 capitals, and I'll underline it with a leaf. I guess I don't know. There has to be some amount of specificity. You know, hey, so the lady was this, and like, which lady? That means nothing. I'm like, no, the lady.
Yeah, she honestly would say she just prefers the Lady of the Woods. Like, it's a long name, but yeah.
Every time you write her name in a document, you gotta put like oak. You rub oak on it so it smells like oak, or something like that.
I like
Whatever
that.
Yes,
tree
all of
smells.
I
our
like that.
diplomatic dispatches are scratch and sniff.
That's
Okay.
really funny.
specifically for her.
That's
Yes.
really funny. I don't care who you are. That's really funny right there.
All right. Well, try not to live in excess. You mentioned something about fairy circles. Is there specific things I need to look for that? Because that can be pretty hard for people to see if they don't know what they're looking for.
So she will describe like rings of mushrooms and will give you very specific things that like it would be impossible for you not to know like what it is. Like this location here, like the fairy
Excellent.
circle where you found Pervalash, like that kind of stuff. It's very
I will
obvious.
definitely be then in my off time going around trying to find these fairy circles and erecting signs like 3 feet to the left, like pointing saying, "Do not pick mushrooms. Fairy
Do not
circles,
touch.
protected wildlife
the
habitat."
The nice thing too is like as you start to do that, you'll realize that it's a very small portion of the woods where like you're not supposed to really go. It's like 5% of the whole forest. You know, as long as you don't clear cut everything, she's probably gonna be pretty chill.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's good to hear. I did get the memo, and I kind of like point specifically south by southwest. I'll get to that as quickly as I can. Thank you for your understanding, the lady.
Think of it less as an order, champion, and more as a warning of ill times to come. There is trouble brewing in these lands. You have fought but one of them. There will be more, and I wish only for you to be prepared.
Then, in my official capacity, consider this an introduction. Sarah Samia, the Red Queen.
The lady of the
We're
woods.
calling it.
That's pretty great. Of the woods dips her head lightly. The Red Queen.
Lady of the Woods. And Samia will do a slightly more formal bow because the Lady of the Woods is probably demigod adjacent.
Maybe.
So
I don't know.
not gonna piss
Or
her
at
off.
least
So
really good at faking it.
look,
Which is
that's
sometimes half the
Quasi-divinity.
battle. It's not about how strong you are, it's about how strong the other guy thinks you are.
look. I will bow a little deeper than she did.
She's just like a CR1 sprite with like really
I
good
don't
disguise.
believe you.
Maybe, I don't know.
Don't believe you. Not given that Black Company joke.
It's a good series. That's all I'm saying. It's a good series.
Yeah.
That's good. It's good.
Her feats: improve disguise, improve magic disguise, mythic magic disguise,
Skill focused disguise.
Yeah, mythic skill focused disguise.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I like it. Yeah.
Mythic levels are crazy.
So she doesn't really set out
the
like a
spell's called
very
Mask
like
of
it's
Innocence,
not like a laundry list of things. It's just like give us space to breathe.
Yeah.
As long as we have space to breathe, we'll be happy. But like if it doesn't, we'll be very displeased and bad things
Yeah.
might happen. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
We'll have
Samia's very happy to agree to all of this.
Did I by chance, Denick, give you Woodland Stride yet?
I think that was mentioned. I remember
No?
something like that.
I don't
Cool.
recall anything about that. I remember.
She's gonna look over to you and be like, "For your good deeds, I grant you more of my favor." And she'll just like kind of like reach out and like gently touch like your forearm, and you now have the ranger ability Woodland Stride.
I will.
You feel it
attempt to
one
note
in the
it down.
trees. Yay!
He speaks for the trees. Why are they speaking Vietnamese?
This kitty right here, I want to let you guys know, has a very stinky butt right now.
Oh boy.
well.
He's a stinky butt.
Stinky boy.
You're a
Sure.
stinky butt. Go clean your butt.
Oh my gosh. We should make a protected forest conservation area for
The
lady.
Narmalsh Preserve.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Any other scenes before we get down to a little bit of brass tacks about what's to come?
Ingram would like to do a stupid thing.
Really? I'm shocked.
Yes.
Continue.
Wow. Okay.
I want to reach out to my son again. Well, I mean, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back to the tower.
Which one?
Oh, the one with the.
The one called Ingram's Folly on the map.
Is it called Cursed Chest? That one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Cool. It's still there.
Yes. As I remember, the walls are protected with magic, right?
Yep.
Okay. But I can get up and then get inside, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'd like to go back to the top.
Did you
and I
go
can
alone?
See... Does anyone want to come with?
Where were you going again?
Maybe I'll take Theragor because he can heal me.
Theragor will say, why do we wish to go back there? I think it is foolish.
I recently gained access to the spell Dispel Magic. I might be able to.
Let me go dispel the Cursed Chest. Nothing bad has ever happened when that was attempted.
Is this bad? No.
I don't know.
I feel like this is a bad idea.
I'm going to be quiet and let you make decisions and suffer the consequences of the decisions by yourself.
Sorry, Ingram. At this time, I'm out trying to mark local fairy circles, so I won't be available to assist.
Let's see here.
Can I get a professional DM tip?
Nah.
Wow.
I'm good.
Okay.
I think
The proper question is, are you open to a professional suggestion? That's
Yeah.
what I always say.
Okay.
So, Theragor would like to cast an augury to see if
Cool.
if
What level are you?
I'm level 6. It's a level 2 spell.
You get neither wheel nor woe.
Gotcha.
You rolled too high on the percentile. I should have rolled that in secret, but it's okay.
That's okay.
You don't get anything. It's okay. It happens sometimes.
I will come with you, but I do not think it is a good idea.
Right. If I explode, just try and bring me back. You can do that, right?
I cannot.
Okay.
Ha! You can resurrect me, right? No,
No.
I could never do that. Why are you asking? That's a very powerful magic I do
Um,
not have access to.
Do you
are
not think
you?
it would be wise to, uh, leave this for another time when you were perhaps more powerful?
That's what I told my. That's what my past self told me, and now I'm more powerful than I was.
Hmm.
So
Yes, but your future self will be even more powerful.
I'm just
And
going to
that's the
check it
power
out.
of positive thinking.
I'm just going to check it out. I'm not going to try and dispel it.
Very well.
All right. So all I really wanted to do is see if I could discern what caster level that was on the chest. I think you told me once, but what was it?
It
It
was
was
like it was like
high.
a CR like 15, man. It was a castle 15.
Okay.
It was powerful magic, man. Yeah.
All right. And I think on dispel magic, I would have
Look, you can
to.
try. Just if you fail, something probably really bad's gonna happen.
Right. So it would be 15 plus 11 for the DC to dispel it,
Yeah,
right?
assuming there's no additional wards on it that you don't know about because the DM hates you.
Okay.
I think you should try personally. I think it's a great
Okay.
idea. I think you should go
All
for it.
right.
No, I think you should.
Sure.
I totally do.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you no, Ingram. I'm just fucking with you, man.
6. Okay.
It's what I do as a game
Um,
master. You gotta keep the players on their toes. That's all I'm saying.
what's 11 plus 15? That's 26.
Yes.
So I would need to get
-2.
I would need to get a 20.
Yeah, you have a really bad chance to do
You're
this.
like,
Yeah.
what?
But couldn't I be aided on this?
Yeah, sure. Then you maybe need like an
Okay.
18.
Yeah,
Good-
that's
Good
better.
luck with that, baby bird.
Okay. So, if I investigate using see magic and read and detect magic, would I get any information to give myself maybe a little bit better of chance?
You know what? Give me a spellcraft check.
Okay. Boop boop.
Can't wait for this.
36.
I will give you a +2.
Yay!
I will
So that's
I will let Theorgor assist because he should also have access to dispel magic.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You will have a +4 to this check, meaning that you will
+4,
need
and then
a 16 or better. You have like a 25% chance of doing this.
okay. All right.
I want to just say, Ingram, if you fail, I'm gonna fuck with you. Okay? It's not gonna be like horrible, but I'm gonna fuck with you a little bit. All right? And it's your choice if you want to do that. But I'm definitely gonna fuck with you a little bit.
Like how bad?
I will not elaborate further. It is your choice whether or not you want to go down this rabbit hole. That chest it's fat. It's a fat chest. It looks really nice. It's got definitely some cool shit in there. 100% some cool shit.
Fucking hate myself.
You love it so much. It's so cool. You're like, there's definitely
Okay.
something powerful in there.
I mean, as long as it just
Smell
like
it.
doesn't like change like as long as it doesn't change like the trajectory of what I'm trying to do with the character, sure.
Probably won't.
Well,
I'm like
We
not
di-
gonna be turned retarded or anything, right?
Well, I have a question.
Trajectories
Whoa!
change
Whoa!
90
You
Do
know what I
not
meant.
use that word. That is
Okay.
not
Would-
cool. Do not get me canceled, okay?
What,
Jesus.
is that a bad
So-
word?
Yes!
Okay.
That is
I'm
a
a
big
I'm a
no-no,
Floridian.
baby word. No!
Alright. I'm a Floridian. I don't know.
So I have a question for you. Would death change the trajectory of your character?
I'm not gonna kill him.
Yes, 90 degrees.
I
not gonna kill
I
me.
am not gonna kill him.
10 feet.
I'm gonna mess with him though.
Okay. All right. So I would need a 16 or higher, right?
I'll make it a 15. I'll give you a 25% chance.
Okay. Okay. And I can use my D20 reroll on this, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Got 2 chances.
All right. Fuck it.
If you make it, it's gonna be funny. If you don't, it's gonna be funny.
1d20 plus 5, right? And then my caster level, which is 6.
You're gonna get a 1d20
Okay.
plus 5. Yes.
Okay.
Plus 11. You need a 26. You need a
Yeah.
15 or higher. If you
Yeah,
just want to roll
alright.
a d20, that's fine.
I'll re-roll that.
One more chance. I'm nervous. Ooh. Oh, I got it! Oh, got it! Look at you, buddy. All right, cool. So you reach out, and as you reach out, you look down at your hand, and you watch as your hand starts to grow fur, and the hand starts to look more like cat-like for a moment. I was going to turn you into a cat folk because I thought that'd be funny.
Mm.
That was going to be my thing. I was going to use a cat.
like small, like
Small
a
little
taxi
cat folk,
cat?
like a little
Yeah.
little cat folk person.
Like a
Yeah,
house
I was gonna
cat.
straight turn you up. Not a house cat, like a cat folk, like an actual cat folk to race.
House cat's awesome.
Nah, you wouldn't have been a house cat. That'd be too silly. But you would have been a cat person, and which would have been real funny because I would have had to change your token. That would have been more work for me. But then you like do your little backwards track, and you see the weaves of the magic that are protecting it, and you reach out and you watch as like just this thread that was reaching over and like starting to change your anatomy. You flick your wrist, and then it just starts to uncoil and unravel like 3-strand rope just being pulled apart, and it's just boom, there's a bright flash of light. You and Thergor up on the edge there go blind for a moment, and you look down, and the chest is slightly open, and there's this blue purplish mist coming out of it that fills the entire lower area of this tower with this like purple mist, and there's like a pulsing kind of purplish glow from inside the chest.
Okay. I'll dimensional slide down.
Into the purple mist? Perfect.
No, to the.
Purple mist is surrounding the chest.
Just show up at your house one day.
For what?
Give you a hug.
Give me a hug. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, all right.
With a water balloon
Let's see.
filled with that purple dye.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
No, I'll go down there. It's fine.
All right, cool. You're fine. It's just for effect.
I know.
Good. Yeah.
I know.
The chest itself is no longer giving off magic, but there's an item inside that is giving off heavy transmutation, like overwhelming transmutation.
Okay. I'll go full sea magic. I'll look at this for like a minute and just I try to identify magic.
Cool. Give me a spellcraft check.
Yes, sir. Oh, nope, no, sleight of hand. That's wrong.
That's not right.
No. 29.
All right. Yeah. This is registering on the Richter scale of magic items as an artifact. Artifact level magic.
What?
Overwhelming transmutation. And as you kind of glimpse in, you see there is a small little box inside the box. There's a box in a box, boxception. There's a small little like box that has like a little impression on it. And there's a little itty bitty amulet with a little silver chain kind of wrapped around like a little pole that's coming out of it, like a little knob. There's a little amulet that has a cat's eye on it.
Oh, fuck. So there is a item and then there's an amulet?
So the amulet is the item.
Oh, the amulet is the item. Okay, one thing in the box, the amulet. Okay.
Correct.
Do I get any actual information about it or no?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
As you look at it for a moment, it looks like a cat's eye. Then a moment later, it kind of looks like the eye of Arodus.
Oh.
And the longer you look at it, the more and more it just always looks like the eye of Arodus. Yeah.
Okay. I will put my hand on it. I don't know. Magic's weird, man.
It's gonna reach out and put your hand on it, is what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna like try and pick it up. Slowly. Like a bomb.
As you reach out and touch it, you remember that moment that you like were standing, you saw that black swirling mist?
Mm-hmm.
You feel this burning sensation on your chest. Like right above your heart. Right above it. It feels like you're being branded. Theragor, you're looking down and you see this like bright flash again, like coming from like just under his cloak. And Ingram lets out this blood-curdling scream, but just stands still. And you watch as a moment later he puts this amulet around his neck, tucks it under his chest, like under his cloak, and then just goes silent. And then like all the mist sucks back into the box, it closes. And Ingram, that amulet provides you a +4 to intelligence, a +2 natural armor, and the ability to see in total darkness and through greater darkness the spell. You can basically see it all times in any light.
Wow.
However, there is a tickling voice in your head,
Uh,
and it says, in that creepy, nasty voice that you heard from that black shadowy thing you saw when you were near death, I knew you'd eventually come to me, my child. Welcome to the family. And just ominous feeling, all the hair on your arms stand up, and it just feels heavy. But yeah, your eyes also look a little more cat-like now. Every
I
time you
made a
think about
mistake.
taking out, every time you did make a mistake, and I like that you did because I said it'd be interesting no matter what happened. Also, there was a reason I was going to turn you into a cat person. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's good stuff, man. So you have this amulet, and there's a voice in your head now, and every time you think about taking it off, yeah, you decide you don't want to. What, you're taking away player
Great.
agency? Yes, because I forewarned him many times. Okay. It's fine. It's probably going to mean nothing in the long run. But yeah, you got a +4 amulet of intelligence, +2 natural armor, and you can see in complete and total darkness, including through darkness spells, at 120
Okay.
feet.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Theragar, you watch all this happen.
yeah.
What are you doing?
Well, when he comes back up, I was like, what has happened to your eyes?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? I don't know.
They look cat-like.
I'll I guess what prestidigitation, a small mirror, I guess. I could do that, right? That's fine.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just like and I look at my eye.
Yeah, they're a little bit more like cat eye.
Yeah.
It's subtle, but definitely cat eye.
And what did you find?
Um I found
I saw you put something on and put it down your shirt.
yeah, it was I look at him. It was an amulet of intelligence. It seems it's magically bolstering it. It also has a few other abilities. I can see in darkness now.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty neat.
Just tell me that you knew what it did before you put it on.
Lie to
Yeah.
him, the voice says. Lie to him.
I I had an idea of its capabilities.
That's like the cardinal rule in a
Yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
touch
yeah.
it? Yeah, I touch it. Oh, I gave you a chance to say no. It's fine. I love you so much because you're a little chaos goblin,
I
Zachary. I
know.
love it
Yeah,
so much.
yeah,
You're a little
yeah.
chaos
I
goblin.
am. I am.
It's good.
It's because I hate myself.
Without drama, do we even have a story? That's all I'm saying.
I know.
Right.
All right, so I'd like to cut to a scene. Now
Okay.
that Ingram is definitely not partially possessed, you're
Yep.
fine. You're still completely in control of your character. It's just I will be whispering in your ear from now and again to, I don't know, kill your family. But anyway,
Wow.
kill your family. No, I'm just kidding.
Kill
That's
your
fine.
family.
Don't actually do that. You're hungry for long pork. Anyway, moving back over to Olegs
Long
Trading
pork?
Post. It's people. Long pork is people, but I digress. Soylent Green
Isn't
is
Soylent
people.
Green? Okay.
Also long pork, but I digress. All right, cool. So you guys are back at the place. This woman has arrived, who is a representative of Stone Enterprises, and everyone is gathered into a little powwow circle, as it were, where everyone can let's all talk to each other, talk about what we're gonna do, what's going on, who's gonna take leadership position, who's not. Even Akros, even Jode are at this meeting. Everyone and their brother's uncle is at this meeting. Even Micmac is here to have a little itty bitty powwow. All right. So, it was actually Creston who asked for this meeting. I do not claim to have any sort of power over you all, and so I extend my gratitude for meeting here. As Irik had pronounced a day or so ago, the Core Four, as I've come to call them, have been granted the right of rulership over these lands. Myself and my men have already pledged ourselves to their service. I believe them to be goodly people, noble, with the intent to build something lasting, not selfish. A place where those who have nowhere else to go can find a new beginning. I think it's high time we decide Who's going to lead us? That's all I had to say. I opened it to discussion of the others.
About that, there was a meeting that happened a few days ago. Dennick, as the champion of the Lady of the Woods, took me to negotiate with her on behalf of our kingdom. Our future here. At that time, he named me queen. I don't know how many of you have spoken about this with him, with me, with others. But I would like to try and take that on. I know I was a little dismissive and flippant of this experiment, I called it, in the beginning. But being here, I think it's changed all of us. I should have known. These lands have a way of doing that. If you'll all have me, I'll hold this land for us. And for anyone else who wants to come.
More than anything else, a ruler must be an image, a beacon of hope. Who better than the Slayer of the Staglord, I say?
Here, here, here,
Who
here.
better than one
Here. Sorry. Yeah.
that you can see from the battlements, whose hair shines like fire? And I basically, like, draw my sword into the sky and I say, "The Red Queen!" Basically.
Micmac draws his sword instinctually, still chewing on his tail, and goes, "Mama Queen, Mama!" And
Still not old enough to be anyone's mother, thank you.
You're pretty
And
old.
I'm just like, close enough!
But
I
yeah,
realize in kobold terms I'm ancient, but like, come on.
ancient. Yeah, people start to raise swords. Creston drops to a knee.
Yes.
Akros nods, dropping to a knee. This woman, Astrid, is off on the side, just sort of watching everything. She has some discussions to make with folks, but Eric nods and bows to a knee, and everyone's like, "The Red Queen, the Red Queen, the Red Queen, the Red Queen, Mama!"
And
We'll
Theragor's
work
looking
on
to
that one.
Ingram. Do you have the? Do you?
Are we doing the
Out
coordination
of
right
character.
now?
Well, I mean, we could still.
I like it.
I mean, symbolically,
Right.
if you want.
Ingram will Theragor like nods to me and I'm like I nod back. At this time he is going to pull out from his bag a soft black like silk bag and he's going to reach into it, walk over, he's going to kneel in
Give me
front
a
of me.
reflex save not to cut your hand. Just kidding. Continue the
No,
scene.
yeah. He's going to kneel and present you with the crown of swords.
Samia I'll reach out. I'll hold it up so everyone can see.
Here, here, to the queen,
But
to the queen, to the queen.
Before you take it,
Yep.
He'll put his hand on yours and stop you and say, "I have one request. Remember one thing. Please, never be cruel or coward."
I'll do my best. And it looks like I'm going to have a lot of advisors to help remind me of that, should I slip.
Right. We all have each other. And he will then put the crown on your head for you.
Okay.
And as the crown reaches her head, we hear a slight shift in the music. Little music. And we do like a quick fade out over. Just a quick fade up. We look down and we see Samia standing and people are like nodding and clapping and cheering. There's no sound other than the sick guitar riff. Sick guitar riff.
Olegs that you're playing?
Oh no, it's Eric. He's playing.
Oh, it's Eric, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's where we're gonna end, like, the official, like, in-character stuff for the session.
Okay.
But I would like to talk a little bit about the kingdom itself. Do we have a name for the kingdom, as it were?
I think we were talking about Greenbelt at one point in the chat.
Okay.
But it's I
Right.
had suggested that, but what is everyone on board with that? If you don't like it, now's the time to present others.
I
Well,
don't really have
Ingram, we
anything
can't use your
actually.
first suggestion. That's an IP
What?
issue.
What?
Which one?
Concord Dawn?
That
Is
is
it?
an IP issue, my friend.
What is that from?
Star Wars.
I don't know.
That's the name of a place, a planet. It's not a kingdom. We're not even monetized. There's no legal issue.
I do make a little money.
You know
off
they're
this,
owned by
so
Disney.
yes,
You know they're owned by Disney.
They will
now,
find
right?
me. They will sue me for everything, including this.
We're not making money. Legally, there's no issue.
Eh,
It's for fun.